The Commanders' 2025 draft did not go how I expected it would because before the draft, I was fairly sure of two things: that they would trade down to get more picks and that they would draft a pass rusher, and they did neither of those things. Still, they seem to add a ton of value and athleticism while going for the best player on the board, no matter their position, and that's always a sound strategy, so I do see the vision. My favorite pick was Josh Connerly, an offensive tackle out of Oregon, in the first round. It's just always smart to invest in the O-line, especially when you have a star quarterback you want to protect. And at first I thought it was a little surprising after they got Laramie Tunsil, but then I started to see the logic where you put Connerly at right tackle, and then you can move Brandon Coleman to guard, and you can potentially upgrade two positions at the same time. Then he could replace Tunsil in a few years if necessary. Getting a good young offensive lineman can also be such a sustainable position to solve. I'm not saying he's going to be Trent Williams or Chris Samuels, but both of those guys showed us that if you draft a top player on the O-line, you can sort of set it and forget it, and there aren't too many positions like that in football. There's also the fact the Commanders have to get past the Eagles now, and Philly's got a dominant pass rush, so we got to be able to protect Jaden Daniels. The second round pick, cornerback Trey Amos of Ole Miss, was a bit surprising to me because I didn't think cornerback was a major need. But I trust Adam Peters and Dan Quinn on this one. Also, it was good to help the defense in any way possible, right? And I like how Amos is a fairly big corner at 6'1". The fourth round pick is interesting because they added some speed at wide receiver with Jalen Lane of Virginia Tech. He ran a 4.3 40. He also ran the ball 32 times over the past 2 years, so there might be some versatility there. In the sixth round, they got Kane Medrano, a linebacker from UCLA. Now, he's not a guy who gets many sacks, and he was picked so late, I honestly don't really expect much. But what I do like is he's very athletic. He ran a 4.46 40, and he forces turnovers. He had 3 forced fumbles and 2 picks last year, and he's also got an awesome name, so that doesn't hurt. Now, usually I wouldn't expect anything from a 7th round pick, but the Commanders got a running back in that round, and with that position, you just never know, right? And Croskey-Merritt, they're taking a flyer on a guy who 2 years ago had 17 touchdowns, and this year just didn't play much due to eligibility issues, but because of that, he doesn't have a ton of mileage. He's also got some speed. So we'll see. It would be a cool story, by the way, if he ends up being good because he was a 0-star recruit coming out of high school. At a minimum, he's going to make the preseason more interesting, right? And of course, speaking of cool stories, I got to mention Gabe Taylor signing as an undrafted free agent. He's the younger brother of Sean Taylor, so I'm definitely going to be rooting for him to make the roster.